musician, I spend a lot of time alone. I'm usually practicing by myself so that I can prepare myself to play with others. And sometimes I feel like it would be a lot easier or faster to progress if I could bring my accompanist or my ensemble with me into the practice room. And even as a teacher, I feel like sometimes you think about how much easier it would be to explain musicality or certain thematic material to your student if you were able to bring a full orchestra to their lesson every day. So I've been trying out an app called Tomplay, and it's honestly made practicing a lot more fun. Instead of just reading sheet music on your tablet, you get to play along with professional backing tracks. Tomplay has a catalog of thousands of pieces for over 20 different instruments and across all skill levels. And everything stays synced with the score directly in the app. From beginner method books to advanced solo repertoire, chamber music, concertos, even pop songs, movie soundtracks, jazz standards, and a lot more. And depending on the piece, you can practice with a piano accompaniment, with a chamber ensemble. There are also so many practice features built right into the app, which I can show you a few of them later on in the video. Things like a built-in metronome, the ability to change the tempo of the backing track without changing the pitch, and you can even bracket off specific parts of the score so that you can loop it and then do some woodshedding. Tomplay doesn't limit you to only practicing along with the recorded solo line. As you advance with the piece, you can begin to mute or isolate different tracks so that you can practice your own line. And you can record yourself within the app so that you can listen back and track your progress. And one of my favorite features is the fact that turning pages can be done completely hands-free. So if you know me, you know that I am a full-fledged tablet musician. Like, I need everything to be all in one place. It makes it easier to go to gigs. It makes it easier to get to my lessons. I don't really love having to juggle, a bunch of printed music and a metronome and like any other practice tools needed. So I do really love that everything is all in one place. Okay, so this is the first thing that I see when I open the Tomplay app, and as you can see, I'm on the Discover page, and they have, just so many different options, multiple different categories. So they have things recommended for me based off of what I have saved already. There are new things that have been added to the app recently, and then you could even break it down by category. So as you can see, we have Baroque, Classical, Romantic, 20th century, and then, like I said, for our teachers, exercises and scales would be really cool to use with your students. We have a whole category dedicated to pieces to practice with an orchestra, concertos, sonatas, chamber music, like all different types of things. You really are going to find anything that you want to work on here. So yes, all different types of categories here on the Discover page. And then I did want to show you how I got this to only pertain to flute. So as you can see in the top right corner, I have flute already selected, but if you click on that, you can select any instrument that you want. So you can, if you're a piano, then you can hit piano, and then it'll just automatically update all of the categories on the Discover page to only be works for piano. So look at all of the different types of instruments that are on here. It really covers everything, and even some of the more niche ones like harp. Next up on the bottom menu is your search tab. So this is where you can just type in whatever you're looking for if you want to browse and just see if the piece that you're working on is in here. So I'm just going to put in everyone's favorite, the Mozart Flute Concerto. Here is where it's kind of breaking down all of the different arrangements and like the difficulty levels that Tomplay has to offer for this piece specifically. So you can select your arrangement, and then that'll show you like which tracks will be included. So you have flute and orchestra. You also have a flute piano arrangement. Right under that, you can see difficulty levels. So sometimes, depending on the piece, there will be different options here. So there'll be easy, intermediate, and then advanced. But since this is the only option is to be, kind of an advanced player to start working on this piece, that is the difficulty level that is selected here. You can just click download, and then it'll download it right into your library. Next up on the bottom menu is my scores. So this is going to be all of the scores that I have downloaded so far. Another cool feature included on this page specifically is the tuner. At first I was like, that's kind of a strange place for the tuner to be, but I think it's actually really helpful to be reminded, okay, let me tune first, and then I will select the piece that I'm going to start playing. So again, for those young students, I think that is just like a visual cue that's going to help structure their practice. Okay, so now I have opened opened up the Carmen Fantasy, and so I'm going to show you all of the different features once you've opened a score and when you start practicing. So starting at the bottom here, we have, I thought this was a really cool feature. It basically is going to highlight the correct fingerings as the score progresses and moves through each note. So I think this is super helpful if you are a beginner or if you're trying to teach a beginner, for them to have this visual aid at the bottom. Now, if you don't need it, you can select, it's right at the bottom. You can turn it off in the bottom right hand next to the expand button, and it'll disappear. Starting in the bottom left corner, you have the mode selection. So right now I'm in play along mode, which basically means once I hit start, it's going to automatically progress through the score and through the backing tracks. This is best for, straight run throughs and if you are just wanting to play along with an accompaniment. But the wait mode is really helpful for if you are still, trying to work on woodshedding or you're still learning the piece. It will actually listen to your playing, and if you play a wrong note, it'll stop the music and it'll stop the score until you play the right pitch. So again, super helpful for if you're still learning the piece. Next is the audio track selection. So right now I just have the piano track playing. I could select it so that I can hear both the flute solo and the piano as I play, or I could just hear the flute line. There is the option to record yourself as you practice. So right next to the play button, you can hit record, and you do have the option to either do just audio or you can do audio and video. I personally am someone that likes to practice a lot in front of a mirror. I like to see exactly what I'm doing so that I can notice if I'm doing anything weird with my fingers or weird with my embouchure. And so I think it'd be really cool to watch back a video of me running through the piece, and I can kind of use that as my mirror. You also don't have to see the score in the video, and you also have the option to show the video while you are recording. Next up is the tempo section. Note that when you first open up the score, all the tempos are going to be preset to whatever is marked. So that is what that dash is on the line there. It's just reminding you of what the written tempo is, but you can adjust. So you can move it up and down here, or you can click the little metronome icon and toggle it there. Next is the loop option. So this is a really cool feature. It allows the backing track and the visual scrolling to loop within a specific section of the piece. So if I wanted to work on this opening line only, I could move this bracket here, and then when I hit play, it'll only play that section. Now, what I like to do in practice here, because typically when I'm woodshedding something, I usually have a little bit of a pause between each repetition. I'll kind of move the beginning of this bracket to either 1 or 2 measures before I come in. I think that's a good thing to note. Give yourself about 2 measures to get into it after each repetition. And that is the Tomplay app. Thank you so much for watching. I am really enjoying getting to work this into my practice sessions, and I think it's just a really fun way to stay motivated to practice and to feel most prepared for when I do end up playing with my accompanist or with an ensemble. So I hope that you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.